Couple here in Michigan in Sterling Heights has now sued the makers of Pokemon Go, saying that they're being endangered. They have all kinds of people showing up in their yard. They're even being yelled at by some of these people because Pokemon Go has placed one of these little creatures right on their property. Loretta Powers joins us, attorney who's really understands these kinds of issues. Loretta, great to have you here on WILS.
Thank you, Michael. It's my pleasure.
Now, in this lawsuit, this couple says they basically want to force the Pokemon to, well, first of all, they want to stop the company from designating GPS coordinates on or near private properties without the owner's permission. How likely do you think that's to succeed?
Well, I think it's highly likely. I mean, they're looking for a percentage of the game maker's revenue, which is roughly about $35 million so far, and for the Pokestop to be taken down. And I think that a judge will find in favor of the plaintiff. It's not a far stretch to say that a property owner also owns the virtual space on their property. After all, they own everything below it, with the exception of the mineral rights, and everything above it.
Have we actually had any case like this before where we talk about virtual space?
We've never had anything before about virtual space. However, we do have plenty of cases in nuisance law. And nuisance law is basically if a baseball field shines their lights at a house, and the homeowners can sue because it causes a private nuisance.
What about suing the actual Pokemon players, the people that are on their property versus the company?
I think they could absolutely sue them for trespass. And I love playing Pokemon Go. I mean, I would love to play it in the Old Town or Washington Square, but it's like one of those games where you really have to hate the players and not the game. I mean, you have to have a certain level of respect for other people's property. And if you're trespassing, you can't blame Pokemon Go.
So is this just an open and shut case, or do you think that there's going to be a real challenge to this issue?
With anything without precedent, there's always going to be a new challenge. However, I think that there's enough case law to give these property owners their rights.
Okay.
And I think that Pokemon Go is infringing on property rights.
And you think Pokemon Go, do you think the judge will actually demand that they share the revenue with the homeowners and so on?
Now, I think that is a huge stretch. I think that they're going to be limited to actual damages, maybe like landscaping that got ruined. But of course, it's going to be mitigated because they're going to go after, Niantic is going to go after the actual trespasser who made that damage. They're going to say that it's their fault, not Pokemon Go. However, I think it is a de facto trespass, and I think that there's a little bit of a fine. And there's also going to be an injunction.
I mean, the company's making, by the way, I'm talking to attorney Loretta Powers, the company's making a fortune so far. I assume that as long as this case goes on, they're not going to change anything. Do you think that's a fair assumption, by the way?
I mean, they've already started to change things. Like whenever I downloaded the app before, it didn't have warnings that were adequate. Now they have updated it and made the warning's a little bit better. Also, they've also placed these Pokestops on things like Holocaust memorials. And so I think they're taking that down.
So they are. They're making changes already. Do you think that they'll actually change the entire paradigm, and before the case even gets settled, well, they'll just pull these stops from private property?
Absolutely not. It's way too popular right now for them to really change the formula on it.
But it goes so far because some businesses, right, they like to have these Pokestops. So what exactly do you think is going to come out of this? How is the company going to deal with a ruling against them?
Well, I hope that they will only put Pokestops where it's already requested of them. So it's going to be like these businesses on, like, the Old Town saying, hey, we want a Pokestop here. And the game's going to put it there. However, if a private property owner saying, hey, I don't want this nuisance, because that's all it is for me. It's not drumming up business here. I want it taken down, and I hope that they'll take it down.
Is this the kind of case that could go for years before we have a clear ruling, or?
Well, with injunctive relief, it could be a matter of a few months. But as far as the damage is concerned, I think that will last for years.
Within a few months. And do you anticipate that there will be, in fact, a ruling against the company and they'll take action then within several months even?
I wouldn't be surprised if they told the game makers, Niantic, hey, this is obviously a nuisance. Please take this Pokemon stop off of this person's property.
We're talking about probably millions of stops now. I mean, all over. I mean, is that? Can you really expect them to sit down and look through the world map and start pulling stops out this way?
Well, I mean, they have the databases, which is where they put these stops.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think it's too burdensome for them to go through the databases again.
Any other types of cases you anticipate from this game other than the trespassing issue?
Yeah, I mean, at first I didn't think that the warning labels were clear. I mean, people were getting things stolen from them because they weren't paying attention to where they're going.
Uh-huh. And
they were also getting injured. So I think that there's going to be some cases outside of that, too.
Should you think the company should be liable for these people that, are walking down the street staring at their phone and getting hit by a car, let's say?
I mean, it is a product liability issue. If the warnings aren't sufficient enough, then, yeah, I think that...
They do have a warning when you start the program, right, to kind of look where you're going. Is that usually enough, you think, that kind of warning? Does that have to be more extensive?
I think before the update it wasn't enough, but after the update, which happened about a couple weeks ago, it is sufficient.
Do you think they kind of knew some of this was coming, the company itself? Would they have anticipated this?
Yes, I can imagine they have a very large legal team working on these issues.
Yeah, well, it's I guess with any innovation, you're going to have legal issues, right? You can't create something new and spectacular like this and not face a lawsuit, can you?
Right. I mean, the most important thing is keeping everybody safe.
Yeah.
And not infringing on people's rights.
And look, I mean, safety is a personal issue too, but sounds like you're saying we're not going to have these on private property much longer then. Which
that's at least what I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, as a property owner myself, I would not want this on my lawn.
Yeah, I like
my virtual reality space.
This couple there in St. Clair Shores here in Michigan, they apparently they talked to one of these Pokemon players and said, "Hey, can you get off our property?" And they were told to shut up. I like that.
Yeah, they're also hiding in the bushes whenever the police come to trespass them. It can be like quite a nightmare, I think.
Yeah, they're very aggressive players, these Pokemon players. Loretta Powers, attorney. Loretta, thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure, Michael.